So we're moving along to station number 2. This one is work with words. So when you are working with words, this is what you need to do it right. You need the right materials, meaning your worksheet or your workbook. Also, with this station, you might need glue and scissors as well. You have to be in one spot working quietly. You're going to get started quickly because you've got 3 activities to do once again. It helps to build your stamina. What does that mean? So it helps you to learn that you should be working effectively and correctly, but fast, because you have more than one thing to do. And you should always try your best. So the activities are personal pronouns, number 1. Activity 2 is alphabetical order. Activity number 3 is articles and countable and uncountable nouns. Activity number 4 will be plural nouns, and we'll just focus on adding an S and an ES. And then finally, activity 5 is your irregular verbs. Activity number 1. So there you see a personal pronouns poster. Lovely one. And you guys remember we've done posters in the classroom where we created them in our books. And you're going to do exactly the same thing today. So on a new sheet of paper in your book, new page rather, you're going to write your date, whichever date it is you do this one on. I just wrote 29th of June 2020. The heading personal pronouns. You're going to neatly underline it. And then always skip one line. Then I want you to draw a line more or less 1/3 from the side of your book, the way I've done it. So just look carefully and copy me. And then you're going to write the word pronouns in lovely bubble letters, and you can make it as colorful as you want. It can be bigger than normal writing. You guys like bubble writing. You don't need to write personal pronouns because for one thing, you don't have enough space because I want you to write the letters quite big. And number 2, you already wrote personal pronouns as the heading. And then you're also going to write examples in bubble writing. So then on that left side where pronouns is written, that is where you make your poster. So there you have an example of how you can draw different people and write the different personal pronouns. Okay, you don't have to copy it just like that. You can, of course, use your own creativity as I like you to do, but it's just an example. Then, after you've finished your poster, this might take you a while, you're going to do the examples to practice what you've just learned or what you've learned before. So you're going to copy that sentence. Joe and Mary are playing. So Joe and Mary are... They are playing. So you just write the word they after the colon. Danica is running. Okay, Danica is a girl. So Danica, you just write a she is running. I don't know the answer. The answer is not a person but a thing. So I don't know it. Tom is waiting. So Tom is a boy. So then you write the word he, of course. I will help somebody soon. Okay, so it's not a he or a she. So I will help you soon. And finally, he is watching Tom and Sue eat. Now, Tom and Sue are 2 people. Now, the ones for more than one is he is watching they eat, but that's not correct. He is watching we eat. No. There's one that they haven't added on the poster, and I've added it for you, us. He is watching us eat. Okay, so you can just put a little dash there and write the word us with we, because we use that sometimes. Activity number 2. Here you're going to do alphabetical order. Once again, you're going to start on a new page in your book. You're going to write the date, whichever day it is you're doing this, and your heading, alphabetical order, and you underline it both neatly. You're going to skip a line underneath the date, and then you're going to do your alphabetical order work. You can see there's 8 sentences, but don't number them straight away like I did, because you might find that number 3 and 4 is going to take more than one line. So number it as you go along. And you have to remember to skip a line every time between the numbers. Okay, so you sort number 1, 2, 3, and 4 in alphabetical order. And then from 5 to 8, you have to find a word that comes alphabetically between the 2 words given. So have a look at number 5. There's pig, some word, and then the word pipe. So you have to use a dictionary for this to find the word that could possibly fit between those 2 words. It could be many possible words. Activity number 3. This one could be fun for you because it's going to be some cutting and gluing. Okay, the worksheet looks like that. Now, before you do any cutting or gluing, I want you to first complete the middle section. So there you have your different foods. You are going to quickly sort them into the 2 groups, countable nouns or uncountable nouns. Once you've done that, you are going to put an a or an in front of countable nouns. Okay, if you can count something, it is, an a or an. But then, when you get to the side of the uncountable nouns, you can't put an a or an in front of them. You need a unit of quantity. Now that means when something cannot be counted, if we look at the flour, for instance, can't count the flour, you have to have some quantity unit. So you have to measure it in some way. So you can talk about a cup of flour or a bag of flour. So in that section, article with a quantity unit, you write a cup of, and then the uncountable noun is flour. When you've done all the writing, you can then cut out the pictures and paste them either in the fridge or the cupboard, wherever they belong. They're not so big, and your pictures might be bigger than the cupboard or the fridge, but it's the idea that counts. So activity number 4, your plural S and ES. To start off, we're just going to do this story quickly, just to get you into the plurals mode. So once upon a time, there were 3 little, yes, pigs, we all know that. They all went off to build their own homes or houses to live in, right? The first one built his house out of, now, straw. You can't say build his house out of straws, okay? Because straw is that grass kind of thing. It's not the straws we drink cool drink out of. So it says they're plural noun thing, but straw stays straw even when it's plural. Okay, so the second one built his house out of sticks, correct. The third one built his house out of bricks. They were all quite happy living inside their new homes. Along came a big bad wolf, and there they say singular noun, named, and you can give him any name you want. He went to each of their homes and said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in, because they ask you a singular noun thing. They all replied, not by the hair on our chins, because it's more than one pig, right? So he huffed and puffed and he huffed and he puffed. While he was huffing and puffing, they all got together and threw whatever you want at him. Apples, food, stones, whatever you think would be appropriate. He was so scared he ran far, far away to, and then you can find a name of a place which is a proper noun, and he was never seen again. So it's just a fun speaking activity to get you into the plurals mindset. Okay, and here's your activity. So you have a Plurals Flipbook. Okay, and what you're going to do is you have to cut it through the middle, and then you neatly cut out the two parts. So the top part is the front of your flip book, and you will then glue it to the back part where it says there, that little grey strip, glue here. That's only where you put glue so that your book flips up. Then you're going to grab magazines or newspapers, and you're going to find words that ends with a S, but it has to be a plural word, and another plural words, a few plural words that ends with an ES. So at least 5 of each. If you can find more, that'll be great. And obviously you're not going to choose the biggest writing in the magazine or the newspaper, but smaller words. Once you're finished with that, then I want you to rewrite the words over in your own handwriting in the right column, and then you just highlight the S or the ES to show the plural. So finally, activity 5, irregular past tense verbs puzzle. You have a worksheet that looks like that, like a very interesting shape. That's a kind of puzzle. So remember, irregular verbs are those ones that if in present tense you say eat, the past tense verb is then ate. They are irregular. They don't only get an ED at the end of the word. So there I've got a list at the bottom of your puzzle of all the words that you can use. That they are all in present tense, and you have to change them to past tense. As you can see how I did it in the puzzle, there you see think, which becomes thought in the past tense. Run becomes ran, and you write them across from each other on a line. Don't use the outside border lines, but write all your words on the inside of the puzzle. And there you go, guys. Have fun with this one. And just remember, all worksheets should be pasted into your workbooks. If they are copied back to back, then you just glue them on the side so that they can turn over like a page. Have fun!